My why is because I believe every single person deserves to be heard. That every single person has greatness within them.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Master Your Life with Kate McKay. I'm so glad you've joined us again, and I'm really excited to introduce the one, the only, the Craig Shah. Welcome to the show, Craig.
Kate, thank you for having me. So amazing today to be with you.
I know, I'm psyched. This is something we've been trying to schedule for a few weeks, and we finally made it happen. So I'm just going to let the audience know a little bit about you, Craig, and then we're going to get right out into it. Just a little bit about Craig. He's the founder and CEO of Craig Shelly, Beverly Hills, a fine jewelry and high quality Swiss watch line. Over the last 28 years, he's worked with several A-list celebrities, athletes, and business tycoons. In addition, he has created quite an incredible group of people around him, of movers and shakers and people in the world doing great things. And the reason why Craig and I have partnered up is that he's in the midst of creating a really incredible program, which involves some high-level masterminds all over the world. And I'm just excited that I get to be a part and play with Craig in this project, really looking at life through the lens of gratitude. He won me on that line. So Craig, thank you. And again, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me again. Katie, you are very special. The moment we met and I felt the energy and I knew that you were my people. Like, I'm a very good reader of people. Of course, I've been wrong and I've made mistakes like everybody else. Who doesn't? I'm human, 100%. I'm not AI. I saw you and I'm like, wow, the radiance and the beautiful energy that you radiated was just, I attracted to it immediately. Thank you for being you, Katie.
Yes. And thank you for being you. And I think that when we hang out, people are like, you guys a couple? And we're like, no, we're just clones of each other because our energies are really similar. I'm just like the white girl of you, of the male Indian man. But I think it's a unique thing to see yourself in someone else and have it be like, oh, okay, that's not such a bad quality, even though maybe growing up we were always a little bit different. And I'm curious about what was that evolution like for you, being a little bit different than the people around you?
Absolutely. I was dyslexic. I was ADHD. I don't want to say the word difficult in that sense, but India is a very tough, competitive country where, when you grow up, you're compared to a lot of your cousins and your friends constantly around. And you're never enough. And there is always that element of you're a failure, you're not a good kid, whatever. And you're just growing up and you're trying to do your best and you don't understand the world that the normal people would understand the way they understand. Growing up, obviously, I was in a very good and safe environment. My grandma took us in when our father left us. I was 2 years old. My sister was just born. And he abandoned us. So we have this abandoned syndrome deep down inside us that we're very scared. I was a very scared child. And it's hard to understand and relate over here. I'm, after all these 50, I'm 50 years old. Now I can understand what the meaning of abandoned is, or being abandoned is. But at that time in India, you're talking about probably a different century if you compare it to the United States, right? Marriages were never failing. There was 1 in a million marriage would fail. And here we were clueless why we were without a father. So growing up was a challenge, but our grandma and my uncle, my mom's younger brother, he took us in, and he was barely 18 or 20 or something at that time. And he had two little kids of his older sister that he was fostering or being the father figure for. So we were in a very safe and very good environment, but it's always a very scared feeling when you don't have a father. Back in the day, I always felt that I was scared of doing anything. So growing up was a challenge. My grandma taught us very early that as long as you're kind, you never give your kindness up, and you never always be thankful, always give gratitude. If you have those two things in you, no matter what happens, God will pull you out of everything. And I cannot tell you how true that is today, how my journey, my life has been, and several ups and really big lows, and how God actually created a perfect storm to pull me out of everything just because I was thankful for everything I have. Yeah,
So
so those
how
are my
was that
secret
for you?
weapons.
When you talk about that whole experience and it being very different from America, I think it's hard probably for the listeners to even comprehend how unusual divorce is when we're in a culture here in America where it's 50% the divorce rate. But for you, it was like no one around you was divorced, like no one in your school, no one in your immediate family. That must have been extraordinarily strange and scary. And was it like bring up like shame, or what is that experience for you? Did people make fun of you, or it just something that you knew was
You know,
different?
what happens is when you're so well protected by my uncle or my grandma were very protective of us. We didn't really face that directly, face on, head on, shame or anything like that. But it was a feeling of whispers around you. It was a feeling of
Mm.
people trying to manipulate or maneuver things. And whether it's friends, whether it's family, it's a different feeling. It's hard to, like you said, it's very difficult for anybody to understand. But imagine, how do I even compare it with America in 1700s? Like what
Right.
were people feeling? Or even in 1800s, 19, when women did not have a voting right. How weird does it feel now to even think about that? So that comparison, I would say somewhat, if I can, I don't know if it's a great analogy or not, but it's something very different, that we were being typecasted like, oh, they don't have a father, meaning that's a big hole in your heart. Whoa.
And that
Big
so makes sense about how committed you are as a dad. What a beautiful way for you to heal the hole through the loving of your children. I understand that at another level right now. And I want to definitely talk about that, your experience with fatherhood. But I was thinking about this when you were saying that you had dyslexia and ADHD and you didn't fit in like that, but yet you were well loved. And so, how did you take that or have the courage enough to keep moving forward and to make a bold change when you were like in your, mid to late teens to follow a different path? I'm so curious about what was the fuel in that for you.
Everything, Katie, is how you're raised, what you're raised, what surrounding. You're the product of your how who raised you, how they raised you, and who actually contributed in that process. In my case, again, I'll go back to my grandma who birthed seven children, seven sisters, and an eight was my uncle. So eight children. And my grandfather, my mom's father, passed away at an early age. So she grew all of them. Not only she grew them, but she got them all married. They were all stable. They were all very happy. But she also grew the entire village around her. So she would support everybody. If there was this much food, she would go give it to someone. So I got a lot of those, a lot from my grandma, I would say, first of all. And then looking at my uncle, man, the man never gave up on anything. And he was so resilient. At 15, when his dad passed away, he took charge of the family and he was a breadwinner. He's an entrepreneur like no other. He's my role model. I learned from him never to give up. So I learned from the best. I learned from someone who is an OG in the business. He started from this much, he built an empire. And how could I give up? There was no giving up. Giving up was never in his dictionary. He always said, you know what? Don't ever aim. So it's in Indian, but it goes like this. Don't ever aim low is not forgiven. Aim high. If you miss, it's okay. If you aim for the moon and land upon stars, not going to be a bad thing, right? Or something of that sort. You know
Right.
what that saying is.
But what made you have the courage enough, or what was that vision for you that you saw something outside of where you live? You were pretty much in a safe haven of a well-loved family, and yet you had a vision for more.
Yeah, I was the oldest of the five kids. I was first one, and then my sister, and then three of my uncle's kids. We all grew up in the same family. So we're not cousins. We're first, like we're brothers and sisters. As I was growing, my uncle's business was growing tremendously. And I saw him venture back in 70s, he used to fly to Dubai and Bahrain, and he used to go to Europe. And I was so impressed with him. Just his aura was everything for me. I learned so much from him that you can't be stagnant. You got to get out, you got to branch out, and you got to do things outside. That doesn't mean that you just have to go overseas or go away. And it means that you just got to keep rolling. You got to keep meeting people. It's all about energy that you radiate and exchange and give to people that brings more back to you. So that was my source and my power. All of that came from him. him venturing into different businesses from oil to construction and land to sugar trading. He's just done so many of those traditional businesses back then, which were large scale, big money was involved, but he risked it. He risked and he got rewarded. So I learned that. Of course, he must have had his own failures too. What I was able to see was the power getting bigger. And it was all because of him believing in himself and being able to go out of his own comfort zone. And
was he good at relationships like you are, or was that you? Do you think that was like your unique skill, your
no,
ability
no,
to connect
no,
with people?
no, he wasn't good. He's the best. He's the best. He kept relationship with people across the globe. If I've learned anything, I've learned from him. He would fly for a birthday to like overseas. He would come to America for a cousin's birthday or my kid's birthday. He would not miss anything. He would go far and beyond, no matter how tired he would be. He would attend 3, 4 events a day. That's how I learned. You never stop. I get invited to 200 red carpets. You don't miss it. You go from one to the other to the other.
Oh, wow. That's why you were mad at me that I didn't talk to you on my birthday.
Yeah.
Now I get it. I'm learning a lot.
I wasn't mad, but I was like, I want to wish you.
I know. I appreciate that. It's such a cultural thing, and I'm so honored that you care like that. So when you're at 16 years old or whenever it was, what was that decision for you to go and seek outside into the diamond business?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you honestly, I was a good student up until a certain age, and then I couldn't keep up with it. My mind was all over the place. Like I said, dyslexia, ADHD, all of it, name it. And it was present in me. But I was a very pleasant child. I was a very happy child. And I always wanted to bring happiness to others. My kindness worked for me, the gratitude worked for me, and being happy worked for me. I was a terrible student when I got into 8th grade, and I'll probably talk about it a little bit later. And I'm like, what do I do? And I started dating my first girlfriend when I was in 11th grade or something. I was 15. And my uncle's like, okay, this dude is going to be like something else. I don't know what. And he himself, he had to quit college or school, whatever, at his age. So he called me in his office when I was 16. And he's like, listen, I love you and you're great. You're amazing. But either you're going to join our business or you're going to figure some shit out. Or you're going to get some job or you're going to get something to do. And I'm like, there's a cousin of mine that worked for a diamond company in Bombay, and that he was sent to Hong Kong and Bangkok. And this guy is like about 4 years older than me. And he was like beat up badly in Bangkok. He was like beat up. He was robbed, and he came home very scared. He's like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to. And I'm like, dude, I want that job. I was very impressed that I'm going to travel the world. I want to get out of the comfort zone, because if I didn't do that, I would join the family business while going to the school. My uncle said, you go to the school and you join the family business, which was oil refineries. It was not a bad business at all. But he grew us in a very comfortable environment. Like back in India, we have a lot of comfort. We have a lot of people working in our house. We have chauffeurs, we have chefs, everything. So I was raised very well, but I had $0 to my name, because it was all his, right? I was not going to inherit anything. So I said, you know what? I thought, and I was pretty good at that time. By 16, I was had a good head on my shoulder. I said, you know what? I know what's going to work for me. Let me give it a shot to this. And what's going to happen? The worst thing can happen is I'll have to come back. But I knew in my head, I'm never going to come back home. So I told him, I said, listen, I want to go and work for this company. And he said, you understand you're not going to get paid, right? For a while. I'm like, yeah, I understand that. As long as I have food and shelter, I'm okay. He's like, yeah, I'll make sure that you have that. I just took a leap of faith. I'm like, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I know all these things now, but back then when I was 16, I just figured, listen, if I just take this chance, there's a possibility that I might fail, but it will be a lesson, right? I'll grow into something. So let me just go and see what I can do. And then there was no looking back. I worked at 6 months. I was there. The company was about $1 billion company at that time in sales. So they had offices globally. They were manufacturers in India, cutting diamonds, but nobody could speak English. I was the only kid, because I went to a very good school from my hometown. My uncle put me in a very good school. So my English helped me, and my friendly nature, playing cricket with them, taking them out to movies. In 6 months, they just fell in love with me. The entire family, all the sons, all of them, they were like, Craig, we want you. We want you to go to Hong Kong for us. We want you to go to Bangkok, Taipei, and Tokyo, and all their offices. And my goal was I wanted to come to the US. So I said, okay, that's the first step. So at 17, he calls me one day, my boss's son, and he's like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, maybe he's asking me to go for a movie or something. I'm like, nothing much. What's the plan? He's like, you're going to Hong Kong tonight. I said, okay, I got to make one phone call to my mom and tell her that I'm going to Hong Kong. And with a couple $100 in my pocket and a plane ticket, they just send me off and I land in Hong Kong. Mind you, this is 1990, yeah. And no cell phones. Nobody spoke English. Even if they spoke English, they would not speak with you in English over there. Randomly landed at the airport, took a cab, showed them the address. The guy drops me off in the middle of something, and everywhere it's like, I mean, I'm 17 and I'm in the middle of something where I can't even read the language and the signs, and nobody would talk to you. Figured out how I have to go where I have to go, and then worked there 7 days a week, managed millions of dollars of diamonds at that age. My job was to maintain inventory, make sure all the salespeople are given the diamonds properly. And it's a lot of money that we had to handle, a lot of high pressure environment. I learned that at a very early age, you got to be in a high pressure environment. Where does a diamond get its qualities? In the high pressure. So that's really where I was
How
my
did
training.
you, like, I'm just so curious about that. Do you think that that ADHD part of you allowed you to step into such a high pressure experience? Because a lot of people would have crumbled when you hear the volume and the pressure of that. That's a lot. That's not just ordinary, that's extraordinary. But you seem to thrive in that.
Yeah, there's different levels of ADHD too, right? I was pretty, in today's world, I would be defined as an ADHD, like I would be diagnosed as an ADHD. And back then it wasn't, people didn't even know what ADHD was. You know,
Right.
they thought he's crazy. He's not a good kid. He's a great kid, but he's not good at studies, or he's not good at. So I had to constantly keep my focus back on, keep
Love it.
pinch myself, learn. My mom taught me how to always pray in the morning. Those prayers is what it's like, bringing yourself back, grounding yourself, right? And praying for strength, right? All those things, those are the things that if I was doing anything, I always had a habit of writing it down. Let me write it down, because if I write it down, I remember. So I learned those little things. And yes, it was very stressful at times. Like at night, I would think, oh my God, where is that diamond parcel? Oh my God, that's $100,000 parcel, this much. Where would that be? Did I put it back in there? Did I leave it on the drawer? So those kind of things. Next morning, I would go and I would open the safe and I would find it in proper place. I self-trained myself to become responsible, to remember things, not to lose things. And that kind of thing. It comes naturally when you work in that high pressure environment. When you also see others doing that, when you see others, they were above me, they were like how they're learning their experiences. I had a cousin that got robbed and badly beat up. So I was always cautious. My eyes and ears are everywhere, like self-adjusting yourself and learning from them.
Yeah, situational awareness. So did you always want to come to America, or was there a romantic notion about being here?
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. When I was in school, there was this one friend of mine that went from India to US and came back. And I was much in love with going to school over here. I'm like, I want to go. If anything, I want to go to school over here. But I wouldn't get a sponsor to sponsor me. I would get admissions because I would write letters to the school and applications, but nobody to sponsor. It's a lot of money too. So I didn't have the guts to ask my uncle, oh, can you support me or anything? I'm just like, okay, if anything happens organically, someone wants to support me. So I wrote letters to my friends and family around here, but it doesn't work like that. It's very tough to get in. This is what I say. You know what? When you want something so strong, so hard, and so badly, you always ask, and God always listens to your prayers. And I was in Hong Kong, and then I was shipped to Tokyo office for a year. I worked there as an assistant manager in that office. and I was selling diamonds. By now, I was already selling diamonds to customers. So I was in sales. And that was a great experience working with these very high profile people in very high pressure environment. And that brought me to the company saw the value. And I'm like, okay, I told my boss every day I was gathering strength or getting more confident. So I told him that I want to go to the US. And if you don't send me to the US, I'm going to go back to my home and work with my uncle. And he's like, nope, you're not going home. I'm going to send you to US. So he transferred me from Tokyo office to LA office as an intercompany manager transfer. And yeah, that was my dream come true. I flew into JFK first. And I'm like, I'm in New York. I just couldn't believe it. I grew up watching Eddie Murphy Coming to America. I watched all the American movies. I watched all Bond movies, all the US movies. I was so impressed with the country, the power, the people, and the opportunity that it gave. So I'm a very optimist to the core. I'm always, my family says I have a motor up my ass. There's no stop to this guy.
That's another reason why I think people think, oh my gosh, you two are like both like this. They're like, hi. Yeah. Oh, hi. It's so fun. I love it. It makes me feel so not alone, Craig. Well, I'm like, no, oh my gosh.
You're my soul sister in a way, but you're not, you can talk to the wall. You can talk to Uber drivers. You can talk to, I'm more of a excitement creator and just like you are too. But I'm very much like, I've learned, again, reflecting back on how I grew up, you got to be very present in the situation. You have to be who you are, what the opportunity is. Even if it's a downfall, if it's something bad happened, what's the best that can come out of that quickly?
100%. Well, and also you're really, I would say, and I would love to ask you this question of how, I don't know, one of your friends would describe you. But for me, what I've noticed is that it's your commitment to step fully in when you're meeting somebody. Like you want to figure out, and this is my observation, that when you meet someone or you're in an environment, you want both feet forward facing that person to build the connection. And then it's like, where is the value that I can provide this person or they can provide me, or how I can create strategy around how I can bring this person into my circle if it's a fit. And for me, I always come in after you and I'm like the one building the deeper relationships and they're telling me all their life stories. But it's just an interesting dynamic how you're so courageous to coming in full front to build relationship. And that's what I've noticed with you for sure.
I appreciate that.
I have superpower.
Yeah, I thank you for saying and appreciate that. And everybody's different, right? Everybody has their own way of attracting people and connecting with them. My thing is, if it's not genuine, what's the point? If it's not intentional, and if I don't want to connect with someone, and what's the point of transacting it, right? Yes, you want to be nice. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not going to keep going around and trying to please people. But randomly at bars or restaurants and out of the whole group, somebody wants to come and talk to me. And my friends keep looking at me. What the heck is this guy doing? It's not me. It's just the energy that I radiate. People feel comfortable with people that they can think, the trust factor. Trust is transferred in the first 30 seconds or even less, I would say. First 8 seconds, 10 seconds. How do you make people feel? How comfortable do you make people feel? Are you very snobbish? Are you very uptight and closed? Even though you're a good person, don't take me wrong. People are good, but they're very uptight and closed, right? They're not as open and willing and genuine to, even if they are, right? But they are not able to show that to people. In today's world, the span is how much? What our brain goes through 65,000 thoughts a day. 65,000 different transactions happen in a day, right? Right now I'm with you, then I'm doing something else. How much is the attention span? Very little. And in that span, if you are just busy by yourself and not ignorant, you might offend somebody unknowingly. So God somehow gave me this presence. As many deficiencies I have this presence of mind, which may have been a product of how I'm raised or why I was in diamonds or whatnot. But that presence allowed me or allows me to be mindful about others and how I make them feel. So that is the reason that Sometimes you notice, and you've said this many times, my friends say this many times, my kids tell them, Dad, when you walk into the room, people, you're like a magnet and you attract. And I tell them it's nothing that I do. It's just
Mhm.
who I am, like how I radiate and understand people quickly in the glimpse
Right.
of a moment.
And
So
people
that's
feel that. They feel that level of trust. And how would your mom describe you? Because I know your mom loves you. You guys are very close.
yes, we are absolutely. This she's the number one person in my world, and obviously her challenges were some extraordinary that we can't even understand. She never got remarried. 27-year-old woman, beautiful girl, and had two babies, and she devoted her life to us two and my uncle's kids. Basically, she grew them, and even till date she is absolutely devoted to us, like whatever. I don't think she has openly ever praised me, I will be very honest with you. Of course there's immense love, no doubt, no question, but she's a woman of very few words, and she's very different than I am. I'm very extrovert, very open, very friendly. She's very reserved. Maybe life made her that way. She's a very, very beautiful person, and you will see her when you come to the house during the sprint. She's very genuine. She cares. She loves cooking, but she would never openly. How she sees me is someone imperfect, but it's okay that you're imperfect. She taught me that
Mm.
nothing is perfect in this world, and you are not either. So it's okay, and be comfortable with being imperfect.
I love that. Everyone should know this about their mom, that our parents love us as imperfect in our imperfectness. Everyone, that seems like that would be the winning recipe for a really good relationship, the basis of it. It's unusual because we don't usually go at it from that angle. It's like, I want someone to love me for who I am, like the blah blah harlequin things. But when you hear it in that way, it's really quite beautiful. So
Genuine.
you have a unique style about you, obviously. I mean, you got this cool ring and these cool glasses. And talk to me a little bit about your unique style and how you've developed that. And that includes, like, obviously in your jewelry and the way you develop it, but also the way you present yourself.
It's all about people's perception. It's nothing about me. And let me just go back to the previous thing that you were just saying. One line I want to add is it's all about how you make people feel. Take this from me. How do you make nothing's going to be remembered? Not the food you eat, not the perfume you wear, not, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can fly private jet or not. Who gives who gives a rat's
Yeah.
rare? Nobody does. But what people remember is how did you make them feel? It's your strength, Katie, too. You're very strong at making people feel good. You don't have to be a people pleaser, but
Mm-mm.
anything that you do with someone, which is you give them your full attention, and how do you make them feel? If you master that art, I think this is the best recipe. You will not need to make friends. They will want to be your friends. They will
Mm-hmm.
want to come to you, right? So
And
that's
for all things too, right? Because I think that's a quality that can go as an attraction to build trust and relationship, but it's also brings a strong presence on the other side of it is a strong presence of self, that you can be that way only if you're a person of principle. I
absolutely.
don't think that you could be that if you're just accepting and loving, that means you have no boundaries. But if you come and you're based in strong principle and values and have a strong foundational belief in fortitude and all these qualities that makes us a good human, that makes people safe, that they know that you're going to tell the truth.
Totally. That's the most important thing of all, I would say, is how people see you and they perceive you is because how you're going to make them feel. That if you are able to make them feel good, then you won more than half the battle. I'll tell you this right now. About the rings and the eyeglasses,
Just
I'm
finish
right.
that thought though,
Mm.
about, because I want to make sure that, how do you think that your strong sense of self balances with the love to which you bring to the world? Like, how is that a mix for you? How
That's
is
a
that
very,
your superpower? Because you're also a very man of very strong principle and value. Don't
of
let
course,
anyone, you're nice, but you also don't miss a thing.
you're not going to let people walk over you. You're not going
Right.
to let people pass. They're going to try. They can try. That's okay. And you can be nice about it and say, hey, not going to happen. I learned from someone very dear, also an ambassador. It's always about being ready and open to learn. So that's what I do every day. I learn from everybody. I teach, but I also, more than teaching, I learn. Nobody can take your comfort zone. Nobody should be able to push you out of your house. Or in a way, we're all going to do an exercise when you come to the Freedom Bell event. And Andrea, who taught me this, she's going to be there too from Zurich. She runs the Zurich chapter. You have to have principles. You have to have discipline. You got to respect your own self. You got to look into the mirror every day and give yourself at least, if not more, at least 30 seconds, 1 minute, and appreciate your own self. I have a very successful friend. He and I, we started our careers together. Also college dropout, also everything, ADHD, dyslexic, a copy of me. Just imagine that. And super successful 9-figure guy right now and a complete asshole. But I'm telling you this, my greatest friend, and I learned so much from him. Asshole in the sense he's a very strict business. He's got such discipline in business. He doesn't care. I've let go so many things. I pass. It's okay. It's gone. I will make more money. People screw you, but because I come from kindness, and I come from what my grandma and my uncle and how my mom grew us. He comes from, his dad used to put him like, I'm going to throw you in the well if you don't fucking do this.
Right. It's a different psychology. I'm so much like you too. It's like
every
people
day
just screw you and oh well. Like,
every day he will send me a message, including today. He'll send me a message or a reel or something. Self-love. Love yourself a little bit. He says, you always love others. You don't give yourself love. That's the only thing I don't like about you, he says. He tells me every day. So I learned a little bit. I learned to respect myself a little bit more than I did, so that at some point you got to have boundaries. You got to have discipline.
Mhm.
You got to draw that line and say, hey, this much was okay. This is not cool. Or this is my line. Don't ever try to cross. So that kind of shapes your character. You don't want to be spineless. You don't want to be loose. You want to be firm. You want to show up firm. You want to have that personality, walk the walk, walk the talk the walk, whatever you say. You gotta stand your ground, period.
But you will never be bitter though, as a person. I could never ever imagine you being a bitter person. It would never be you. It's not in your makeup.
It's hard to get the bitter side of me out. It's just because I'm so much love is filled into me all along. But of course, if someone's going to be stepping on my tail, I'm not going to be shy to tell them that, hey, be in your lane. And sometimes I'm guilty of also being bitter. Again, being human is but I'm the first one to come and apologize and say, hey, I'm really sorry I was bitter. I just lost it for a second there. It's just about being genuine.
Well, bitterness is more, I think a bitterness is more just like perpetual state, that part of you that rots from anger and hate. And like some people just have bitterness in their soul. That is just an innate thing that happens because they got burned too much. You'll never be like that. There's no way.
It's because I'm surrounded by really amazing people. I mean, I have a t-shirt that I wear. Someone gave me, I attract amazing people. Because you gotta be nice and kind. Of course you're gonna attract. If you surround yourself, again, coming back to the same point, surround yourself with 5 kind people, you're gonna be the 6th one. Surround yourself with 5 generous and heartful people, then you're gonna be the next one. Surround yourself with 5 broke people, you're gonna be broke. And surround yourself with 5 mega millionaires, and you're gonna be one of them. It's law of attraction. I didn't invent it. I didn't say it. It's just there. You can read about it all.
But I like it how you actually defined it though, Craig, a little bit differently. It's not just the 5 most successful people, but I really liked that. And I'm going to use that it's not just the most successful, but it's the happiest or the most peaceful or the generous or the most healthy. Or it's not just successful, because success can be measured in so many different ways. So tell me about your style, Craig. How did you adopt and create your sense of style? Because it's unique. Like you got this cool ring and this cool glasses.
Yeah, the ring and the glasses and all that. I'm a jeweler, fashion designer. It comes naturally to me to create something different, right? And I look different stuff in everything. Sometimes I wear $10 shirt and people think, oh my God, this is such a dope. Where'd you get it? It's $10. And I bought it at a local store in whatever, in Italy or in Geneva or over here in the US or from India, whatever. And people just think, oh my God, you're a style guru. I'm not style guru. I'm nothing. I'm just different. I think differently. I see things different. And I find peace or perfection in imperfection things. Like the glasses I'm wearing, they're imperfect. They're handmade, right? They've got imperfections all over it. But that makes me, that's me. I wear my imperfections. So the ring is designed for a football player, for basketball players, and I do jewelry all day, every day. I try to be different, but I also wanted to, it's a conversation piece. I like it. It's my lucky ring. I wear it when in an interview like this, or I wear it in a meeting. It makes me feel, I'm not going to lie, it makes me feel a little bit more powerful. It makes me feel more confident.
It's
and
awesome.
if I don't have it, I'm feeling like I'm missing my something. If I don't have my watch, I feel naked, like even any watch.
It's like your armor in the best of ways. And I think that this is a really important conversation, because why can't we own the fact that what we wear and our sense of style is a good way to shore up our confidence? And I have to bring that up just because for me, because I've always been fit, that it's always been like I felt that, and it's true because people have criticized me for being fit, as though my fitness or me caring about what I look like was vain or arrogant. But I'm like you, I had super bad ADHD. And so my internal strength is built in the fortitude of the body, because it's the only way I could find a way to calm down was weight train. I wasn't going to use drugs and alcohol. It wasn't my thing. But yet people judge us by this exterior, and that's just such an interesting thing from your culture. I'm just curious about this more from culture. How do you view that our confidence? Because you think about the gorgeous clothes that people wear in India, like the outfits for the weddings and the color. It's so vibrant. It's so gorgeous. Like literally, I would love to get married and be Indian and for a wedding, just because you guys the outfits are just outstanding in art form. That outfit that your sister wore that I was like so desperately wanting, it's like this color pink. So how do you define style from the Indian perspective, I guess, is my first part of that question.
I think you asked 3 questions in one,
I
but
did.
I'm going to try to answer each one of them. But first thing is, anyone that criticizes you as Kate, just you, the person, is either, I don't want to put anybody down, but they're either blind or dumb, or they can't do nothing.
Oh.
They don't understand people. You forget about being blind. They just don't understand people. If anybody criticizes you for being fit but just being you, Kate, because you're absolutely, that's your strength and that's your superpower, which you're very kind about. You're fit, you're good looking, you're amazing, so bright soul, but you'd never make anybody feel that you're above them. You never have that. So you're very humble. Disregard any of that from anybody. Number 2 is, people are always going to judge you. You said something about people judging, but you know what? I have a problem with something. The problem that I have with, you can be judgmental. Judge me. Yes, you have the right to judge me. Say whatever the F you want. Do what you want. I have no problem with it. But then do something about it. You're going to judge me and, you're going to, Craig goes and has a mastermind at the World Economic Forum in Davos. I hate World Economic Forum in Davos. So do I. But what are you doing about it? Sitting at your home and you're on your ass, not making an effort to go there. Why don't you freaking hold up a banner in front of World Economic Forum saying that you hate it? You can judge me. It's fine. But are you doing anything about it?
Love
or
that.
are you just talking, right? So that's this is one of the points that I make.
Love
yes,
that.
we do Economic Forum masterminds, but we're not going inside and doing it. We're outside. We're using that as a backdrop because a lot of high profile people come there. What we do over there is we find the best of the best people. They're conscious leaders. They come there for other connections.
Absolutely.
Okay? They come there for higher connections. You got to admit that there's higher connections over there. They come for those connections.
That's where change happens, though, right? It's you're consciously leading and you have to be where other leaders are. But where are you going to find people that are leading the change? You're going to go hang around down in South LA? You know what I mean? It's like you go where smart people play. And I love that you bring that up. It's like the judgment. But what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing about it? You're going to sit on your ass and say, oh, I hate world economic. I don't want to do anything with people who go, okay. Yet you're taking a paycheck from your 9 or 10 figure boss that is going to that same freaking mastermind or is going to the Davos. What are you talking about? Are
Yeah.
you serious? You so people are gonna do this. I'm
Mhm.
not against them. I love people. You can be judgmental. You can think he's wearing crazy glasses, wearing crazy. It's fine. I have no problem with any of that. You can judge me all you want, but just look in the mirror and yourself and do a little bit of self-assessment and say, hey, am I doing any of this? Or am I? So that's what my answer to that is.
And so
And the
talk to me
third,
about the style, about like how awesomely lucky you are that you're from India and you get to wear all these bright colors, especially the
it's
women.
it's a blessing to be culturally. I would want every life to be like this. Although I wish that I was a little lighter in my skin. My kids make fun of me. My family makes fun of me. You're so dark. It's just for fun. Like they just say, oh, you. But I feel like Krishna was dark, Lord
Yes.
Krishna.
So was
I
Jesus.
don't know. And I feel like I have a little bit, a small part of him in me. I cannot be him. I'm not him, but by any stretch of means. But I love the culture. I love
Mm.
what it teaches, not a religion. I'm Hindu and I'm vegetarian by choice.
Mhm.
Yes, I was born in a family, but I understand why it's important. It's a way of life, it's a way to live a healthy life, it's a way to live a peaceful life and let others be. Don't judge people like why they're eating what they're eating, what they're doing. You have to live and let live. Culturally, why wouldn't you want to celebrate every moment? I want to celebrate. India is a country of festivals, as you know, and colors and all those things. Thousands and thousands of years of history is there, and how beautiful these people are. They're very humble people. They don't have too many agendas. Of course, there is good and bad everywhere, so no one's bar from that. But I'm very proud of my
Mm.
culture, my ethnicity, my background, who I am as a person, right? I'm very proud of that. And everybody should be, each and every person on this earth should be, of their own faith and religion and beliefs.
So
Yes,
talk to me about the confidence piece, because obviously I'm bringing up the clothes because I just am obsessed with the bright colors. But what would you recommend to the viewers and listeners about how to be more comfortable in your own skin and be as confident as you came here to be? Because I think a lot of people struggle with that, Craig, and it's something that you're open-hearted and obviously just an open-minded and hearted human, and yet you have an inner confidence.
yeah, I thought this interview was going to be more about business, but I think it took a route towards personal and more about social and other stuff that we discussed, but other very important stuff that we talked about. And I'm very happy to tell you that confidence is not something that you will learn, you will earn it. You don't have to try to be confident, you just have to be confident. And you just have to know that you are enough, you are beautiful, you are perfectly imperfect, no matter what it is inside of you. It's okay, whatever that is. And always I say this, people often get scared, right? Because they say, oh my God, such a big bad thing happened to me. I'm never going to trust another, this person or that community or this. It's no, just because one person screwed you doesn't mean everybody's like that. But you learn from that. So you try to protect yourself from that a little bit. And confidence is built with experience, right? Nobody is born and say, oh, I'm confident. No, you're born just like everybody else. You every day teaches you something and you become more confident. So as long as you're learning, you're going to be confident. It reminds me of an interview that I was, not interview, I was on a panel at one of the family offices last year. And I think Lorenzo Medici, it's a family office about Spanish family office, about 700-year-old, a lot of money. These people, like one of the oldest family offices. He was speaking also, and in the same room. And I think someone from his table asked me, saying, Craig, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now? And I was like, I'll be sitting in one of these rooms, in one of those tables down there, and learning from people like you. Because the day I stop learning, I'll stop living. So if you are a learner for life, that's where confidence comes in from. And even a kid like me who was timid, shy, ADHD, and dyslexic, if I can be confident, anyone can be confident. Really, truly believe me. that it's not nothing big. Own your superpower. If it's in your lane, then own it. If it's I was never a speaker, never a public speaker at all. I never faced camera until 2014, 2013. And you know the story, and I don't want to go into that. It's super fun, but for some other day. I blanked. Lights on my face, I blanked out. I didn't know what to say. The person who was interviewing me had to bring me back somehow. And because I never had spoken before. But imagine if I just said, okay, you know what? Oh my gosh, this is not me. I'll never get up on that stage again. I would never be here in front of you.
Right.
So
it's true. One of the things that I learned and why I'm so excited to be part of the mastermind. So I definitely want to segue into that. So much of my life was unlike yours. Much of my success was in isolation because I really felt like no one was like me, no matter where I was the unusual one. I went to performing arts high school and then my college. And then just like I always was in a new place. And I was like, all right, no one's like me. So I'm just going to stay in my lane, like you said. And yet I didn't learn the quality of bringing the people around me because for some reason it was more like a landmine. I think part of it is because growing up in a big family with a lot of drug and alcohol use, I was just like a deer in the headlights. And I knew I just had to keep moving forward with my blinders on. But what happened was I met you and then we played in a few different environments. We went to a couple different events together. And what I realized is there's a lot of people like me that go through the lens of gratitude and that have fun, that are here to make a difference, grow their money, grow their wealth, grow their legacy to impact people. And that was the reason why I said yes to the ambassadorship and where I'm currently living in St. Pete, Tampa. But I would love it if you would share your philosophy around Elevate and Evoke with the listeners. And then we'll also share ways that they can play with us as well.
Through the journey of my life, Kate, I had so many ups and such lows, and I learned so much. And when I started Elevate in 2014, it was because I attended. I didn't even know what a personal development space was. I did not understand. I knew gratitude and kindness all along, but I did not know how to give back. I was just chasing money and I was working hard and I had a mission to accomplish. And you know that part too. But I'm going to say, thanks to this one man, he passed away, Ryan Long, who invited me to that one event, which I was called on stage randomly and I blanked out. And I just wanted to get off the stage. So I took my watch off and I'm like, this watch, I'll auction it off, 25,000, and all money goes to Ryan Long's charity. That's all I said. And Ryan held my hand. He didn't let me go. And he just went into the crowd. And like room was full of incredible people, coaches, thought leaders, celebrities, business tycoons, all of them. And in 5 minutes, he got $25,000 and he says, here, now say something. And so I learned that the power of giving back is so important, right? We're all successful here. We're all, at least success is a degree, right? Everyone's successful and everyone's unsuccessful. If I look at Elon Musk and so he's $200 billion guy, oh my God, I have nothing compared to that. But what about the person who is dying of water impurity? Mm-hmm. What about the person who has to walk 5 miles to fill a bucket of water for their family? What about the person who doesn't have $1 a day and he's got 5 kids to feed and they have no roof and they have no chance at life? They're poor for generations, right? Am I successful in their eyes? People would want to give their lives and say, oh my God, one day I want to be like you, Craig. I don't want anything else from life. And I'm thinking, I'm chasing. So this is what was happening. I don't know if I'm able to explain it to you.
No,
Craig.
I love this. I love the journey to like feeling like it's like it's really the journey to what is the impact and who am I here to serve and what is the legacy I'm here to fulfill?
Let me ask you this, right? We all know that we're all going to live this much. Maybe some will live this much and some will live whatever, right? Is anyone that's going to be able to take their money with them on the way out? No, right? Of course, that doesn't mean that you don't work. Money is very important because it's need for the life you have to live. But when you're full certain way, are you going to wait to become a billionaire and then give money? Donate? It takes $20 to feed one child for 1 year. Feed and educate, right? Don't just handouts. These are programs that are run not by me, but by very prestigious organization people, and money goes straight. 92 to 94% of people, money go to them, right? The journey that I took through Elevate, it molded me, and things happened that I figured out that giving back unconditionally is going to be so. And trust me, once you start doing that, so much more is going to come back to you in so many different ways. It will come back to you. People will start seeing you as a very, you'll be exemplary, right? You can set up, you can motivate people. I was one of the ambassadors, had a gala in Boston. They invited me a couple of months ago, and the room was full of doctors, and he was struggling to auction off a painting, auction off a little thing. He wasn't able to connect. And then he was putting everything on side. People weren't even bidding $500 or $1,000. I'm like, okay. And they're doctors and lawyers. Now, mind you, this is
You're in
Massachusetts. Did I tell you about this story? I'm not sure if I did.
No, but I'm from Massachusetts. This is embarrassing me because I know what it's like. That's where I grew up.
Right? There's so much money. And then he started auctioning off one of our watches because I donated a watch, and it's a pink pearl watch, and he showed it around and on the screen. Long story short, he says, Craig, I was sitting up front, and he just, Craig, can you please come up? He literally came down to grab my hand, come up on the stage and tell people about this watch. And I said, forget about this watch, guys. I said, who's here? How many doctors in the room here? I said, give me a raise of hands. And like 60% of the room. I said, how many lawyers? How many of you are, like another 20%, 10% of the room? How many of you are professors? And how many of you here by the raise of hands make more than, I'm not saying too much, 150K? The entire room was that, including every single, no, there was not a single person, right? I said, what the hell is wrong with you guys? I want bidders here. I said, do you know this man is trying to raise money for children who needs eye surgery? It's $50 a pop for their eye surgery. I said, this watch, it's pink pearl, has saved thousands of lives. It's my hero watch. It's a lady's watch. It's a beautiful timepiece, and it's got lifetime warranty. I'll back it up. How many of you are going to bid? And I got more people that had less money raising their hands in that crowd. And we sold 3 instead of 1. I multiply. I said 1, 2, 3. They all came to someone. The watch was costing $2,000 and they bid $2,500 already. It was over and about, right? 3,000 people are going up. I said, all of you, I will give 3 watches. I will donate 3 of those watches. I'm a manufacturer. Of course, it's costing me money. Of course. But what good is it if I can't turn that into a fortune for someone who's less fortunate?
Also,
right?
It's taking the leadership and calling people out, because I think that's an important part of leadership. And that's what it goes back to what we were initially talking about, is just being a person of principle. And you're sitting around thinking it's $50, and these people won't even choke up $50 to save a children's eyesight. You couldn't just sit there.
So Elevate, in my mind, is that perfect vehicle that can give you what you need. You want to grow your business, you want to scale, you want to have 7, 8, 9-figure business or even more. Come and meet the right kind of conscious leaders and associate with our powerful community of change makers. Be the change you want to be, you want to see. Again, coming back to the same thing. Don't just sit and talk. The world is a crazy place, and be the freaking change you want to see. And the software that we've built is far, I want to say it's best. I don't want to say it's best. It's one of the best softwares out there with AI platform, very robust. It's going to give you all the tools to succeed. It's going to have such great features that you're going to need, and you want to be ahead of the competition. You want money to make money for you, right? And then give back along the way, little by little, and I'll match it. Anybody have a charity out there? Come apply on our online. We have an open door policy. As long as you have a charity that's doing good in the world, helping somebody, will give you something that you can auction off and donate 100% to that charity. So we'll partner with you, right? we're not just going to sit on sidelines either. But let's be the change we want to see. You are successful. You have water in your fridge. You have food in your fridge. You can eat comfortably. There are a lot of people, they do not have any chance at life, right? And you'll be surprised if you educate and feed one person, and especially a girl child, she will never let her kids back on the street. And I have a whole story behind it, Kate, for one other day. But I feel very strongly that we can be the difference. We all can come together. Our social, we don't have to wait for the governments or no political agendas, nothing. Leave everything at the door. Leave the ego at the door. I love Elevate ambassadors because they roll up their sleeves. They put up the banners, they put up the tables, they show up, and they
Can
be
you
the
just
change.
talk a little bit about the structure? Because I know I'm so excited about it. And I know we're just currently have a waiting list for people to be ambassadors. But could you just talk about a little bit about the structure of it and how people can play in it?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, this is designed. I'm trying to replicate everything that I've done and how it has helped me, right? How I got my deal flows, how I put spotlight on me through Elevate. I wasn't trying to, it just happened naturally. And now I have a formula on how to do this. It's a special person. It's not for everybody, right? I'm going to say this. It's a person who is a conscious leader, a person who wants to give back, wants to support their own families and families of their employees and people around them, but also for a very specific person who has an aura about them of zeal to succeed and to make things, excited about things. The structure is really simple. I need 8 to 10 hours of your time every single month. One event, 4-hour event, and then the other 6 hours of maybe just doing and nurturing some people or coming to some meetings. But with that, I can show you a path to a multi-million dollar business, right? It could be passive completely for you, meaning passive is in the sense 8 to 10 hours. But if you want to scale it more and be somebody like Katie and show up at other places, you get access to everything for life, meaning you can come to all the masterminds, including the Super Bowl mastermind that I hold, or from Oscar Gala parties to Freedom Bell events, like a lot of high profile Art Basel events that I host. So you get access to a lot of those things. You'll meet some incredible people. You definitely get richer in your Rolodex. I guarantee you that you will have more credible people than you have right now within a year's time. I'll expand that number to craziness, like really good people. And I feel somewhere that I will definitely add money to your bottom line too. You can write down 3 things: your total number of contacts, your bank balance today, and how many millionaires do you, right?
Mhm.
I will,
Yeah, that's all
and one
important. And then I always, this is me coming back in the back end and saying that it's for me, the reason why I did it is I was looking to be and create a community of other people that shared the similar values, that were successful and yet wanted to have greater influence. We're successful, but wanted to have more influence. We're successful, but wanted to help more people. We're successful, but wanted more and still had a longing to serve at a higher level. And I think that's the call for me. That's the call. And the bonus is it's amazing. It's amazing people, amazing mentorship, your ability to mentor. And as you mentioned, Craig, too, it's the back end, what's supporting in the blockchain and the AI and the support and the best-selling book chapter and all of those things that are also available.
It's all hands free for you. We do all the work for you. My team will do everything for you. Yes, I want your participation. I want your energy. I want your credibility. I want your love and participation with the other ambassadors. That's what's going to make it work. Okay. But I'm telling you, like, yes, of course, we have a wait list right now. We can't launch anything for next 6 months or so. And I have a big pipeline, but I'm looking to scale this. This is going to be a movement across the globe because we're the change makers. We're going to make that change. And I can't do this alone. I can never do this alone. I'm growing, I'm expanding my team, and I'm getting a lot more support and help from so many people like you, Katie. You've been such a great strength and support for me. But I have people across the globe. I have my ambassadors in UAE, in Australia, in Europe, in all parts of the world, India. All these people are excited to be here for the Freedom Bell event in October. But I feel like we're onto something really good. And the more people that join us, they will add such amazing value to this whole program and empower themselves, enrich themselves, and make a difference in others' lives.
Amen. I love that. So yeah, we'll be sharing all the contact information. How, if you want more information, obviously you can reach out to me or Craig in regards to playing with us and Elevate. We're really excited about this adventure and we're looking forward to sharing it with you as viewers and listeners. And I just want to say, Craig, thank you so much for this time. I know you've been really busy and I'm really grateful that you gave me this time to share you with our audience. Keep doing the good work. I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much.
Katie, you're incredible. And thank you for having me here. You have no idea of how many people have called me and said, oh my God, Katie is incredible. And some people even wonder, how can someone be so good all the time? And someone actually said that she's so amazing.
Oh, that's sweet.
So listen, it's all about helping others. At the end, we're humans. We're going to live so much. God gave us an opportunity to live this life, and we got to be respectful towards it. And nobody knows more than you, Katie. And all the adversities that you go through, or anybody out there is going through, we're no different. Nobody is. If anybody is claiming that, yes, some people are very blessed, but everybody's blessed. Every situation is blessed. Do not feel alone, and you don't have to do this alone. Get mentorship, not from me, not from Katie, not from any. Just get a mentor sooner than later. I wish I knew this 30 years ago. I'd be a whole different person and sitting on a lot more money.
Yes, hire a coach.
Hire. Do not
Sometimes it's not free. The money that I've spent on personal development would blow any budget, but I would never be where I am right now if I hadn't hired people around me to rise. But the thing is about the Elevate thing, and that I just want to get back to that, and just to say that this is a built-in mentorship, both for you mentoring other people and people mentoring you. It's ridiculous. I can't say it enough. Just definitely, as I said, share it in the show notes for sure.
Yeah, Katie, thank you. It's a great platform. It's very pure, very clean, and it's only got one direction, and that direction is to help others. So everything is built around it. With community, we just launched our new online community. It's free right now, only by invitation. So you have to be invited by an ambassador or somebody who's in there already. And it's growing. It's fun. It's gamified. We're giving a lot of things away, including gratitude token that we're going to be launching soon. No monetary value. It's just something you got to check it out. It's super amazing. It's fun to be a part of such great people. So
yeah, if it's not fun, it's not worth it, Craig.
That's it. And I don't even know when we do business, seriously. We just have so much fun together.
I know, we really do. It's like we just get on Zoom and just start laughing. So, well, okay, Greg, thanks again. I really appreciate your time. And
thank you.
Thank you to all the viewers and listeners of Master Your Life. I appreciate you. Keep leaning into your greatness. And remember, confidence, it's something that we earn it, and we have to keep leaning in and reaching out. There are people there and out here to support you into your greatness. And remember, it's all about service to others. That's the biggest feel good. Thank you again.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, audience.